Can Trump recover from this? I just crazy to me, crazy. So I probably heard when Trump was on the Laura Ingraham show, he said the most asinine stuff, and I don't know if this is recoverable. Frankly, it reminds me of the Hillary Clinton basket full of deplorables thing. The difference, of course, is that Trump is the president. Hillary Clinton wasn't. So anyway, boggles the mind. Boggles the mind. So let's go down here to the insanity of Laura Ingraham presses Trump after he says Americans need foreign workers because we don't have enough talent, and says the U.S. should let in hundreds of thousands of Chinese students. Laura Ingraham says you can't flood the country with the hundreds of thousands of foreign workers. To which Trump says you also have to bring in talent. And Laura Ingraham says, no, we have plenty of talented people here. And Trump said, no, you don't. You don't have certain talents. And Laura Ingraham says, you said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. How is that pro-MAGA? And Trump says, we also have a massive system of colleges and universities. If you were to cut that in half, you would watch half the colleges in the United States collapse. And Laura Ingraham says, so we're dependent on China to keep our university system going? And Trump says, I think it's actually good to have outside countries. All right, well, that's just freaking stupid. And then it gets worse. Here's Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem says on H-1Bs, under the Trump administration, we've sped up our process and added integrity to the visa program, to green cards, to all that. But also more people are becoming naturalized under this administration than ever before. More people are becoming citizens. This is my whole thing I've always said about the difference between the legal and the folks on the right said we need to less illegal immigrants, more legal immigrants. I said, no, we have enough immigrants. We need to close it off right now and let the immigrants we've had acclimate. That's just a fact. And the right, the libertarian rights and whatnot, the corporate types will say, no, we just need more legal immigrants. So make them legal. That's okay. Yeah, just make them legal. No. And here's Kristi Noem going along that right there. And here's Trump saying we don't have talent. And I don't know if I saw this or not. Let's see. By the way, since 1990, so H-1B was signed in by George H.W. Bush in 1990. Since then, Americans are beginning to replace and force into unemployment in favor of low IQ slave labor and force out of the housing market. Yeah, 100%. It's crazy. But anyway, check this. And this is something different, but I just posted anyway. Longtime manufacturer closing, 32 jobs lost. This is in 2005, and that's the remaining 32 jobs in Bethel furniture stock that had been around for 40 years previous to that many people literally worked their whole lives in Bethel, Maine. And all because we were pleased that this is from Susan Collins. We're pleased that the Department of Labor has recognized the impact of imported competition on the decline in productivity and sales in these two businesses. And that was in Bethel, Maine, where they lost hundreds of jobs because they couldn't compete with cheap imports. We are importing ourselves into bankruptcy. So at least Trump is big on tariffs. I appreciate that. But, dude, you got to be big on something else. So let me see if I can't find something else here. Here's Mark Mitchell. Rasmussen reports, I'm a U.S. Naval Academy mechanical engineering grad with a Wharton MBA, and I have to work in polling. No talent, my butt. MBA class is getting stripped of people who look, think, and act a particular way. 100%. And another Navy guy says, the Republicans are expanding the Democrats' voter base through increased naturalizations. Yep. There'll be no Republican Party in 48 years. Your naturalized citizens will always vote Democrat and will overload the swing states. Yep. And another Navy guy posted that you can take a high school grad and put him on some Navy training, and then he becomes very proficient at talent. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. Well, actually, there's one guy posted, which I thought was pretty interesting. I think it's probably true. Hold on a second. Trump lost his base by caring more about the donors. This three-time Trump voter will not be voting in the middle terms. I'm not skilled enough. Maybe his H-1B importers can vote for him. And obviously not going to vote for Trump in the midterms. But it's a sellout. It's a sellout. No two ways around it. And this is one of those things that's just... I mean, the Epstein files, that never even bothered me that much. It was idiotic that the Republicans, and they just lied, dude. They said there was a conspiracy theory. It turns out it's not. And I hate being lied to. I hate it. I hate that. They had this thing at the beginning of the Trump term. They had all these binders full of women, you know what I'm saying, the Epstein file things. Then a couple months later, it says it's fake, and now we got these emails. It's obviously not fake. It says conspiracy theory. And but I hate that. The Epstein files was idiotic for them to sit on that, and then they gaslit us, dude. But now to come out and say this right here, the number one reason people voted for Trump was the immigration stuff. Unequivocally, let's see if I get this. One guy made a good point right here. Just like in Europe, Americans voted for less migration but got more. The social contract isn't just broken. Everyone can see it. It was a sham from the beginning. We are witnessing what may be the end of the system known as contemporaries as democracy. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Remember Boris Johnson, this is what Trump looks like he's becoming, Boris Johnson 2.0, where Boris Johnson, he pounded the left in 2019 and he won after Brexit. Like, destroyed the Labour Party, destroyed them. And then he became the biggest freaking clown. I mean, I'd have Tony Blair any day of the week over Boris Johnson. They're horrible. Destroyed the Tories probably for a generation. Because I don't trust them. I wouldn't vote for the Tories now as far as I could kick them. I mean, they sold their souls for the freaking, I don't know, for the EU, I suppose. And then Trump's doing the same thing. And I'm not sure this is going to be recoverable anytime soon, man. Because that came out of your mouth that we don't have the talent, Trump. Are you freaking kidding me? The idea that Americans don't have the talent, that should never come out of an American president's mouth ever. Even if you believe it, you should never say that. It's insanity on steroids, and it's embarrassing, but it's politically inept, obviously. But it just shows you, man, is a guy a fraud? 2020, man, still rings large to me. And seeing this coming out of his mouth, I'm like, dude. Anyway, all right, we'll see. I mean, I'm not holding my breath. I know a lot of people say, oh, I get people email me on occasion. It's coming. It's coming. That's okay. What's coming? What's coming exactly? It's coming. Yeah, okay. All right, God bless. We'll see you.